Hey, salty cracker. It's Friday. A little update for you guys. Wrote down some things I want to address because you guys are the shit. Most of you. I got about 6.5 hours of sleep, by the way. So my goal is to reach 7. If I get that by next month or next week, I consider it a miracle. There's just a bunch of factors going on. Not anything tragic, but just a bunch of little things combined. It's November 12th, and let's address the community real quick. Some of you like me talking. I mean, watch Theo Vaughn. He has long pauses. He doesn't complete his sentences sometimes. Whatever. He's comedic, and he's very situationally smart and connects the dots where you wouldn't think. I'm at 750 subscribers. If I can get to 1,000 for being a realist, I consider that a freaking success. Sad, though, that I have to put this much energy into talking about something so important and yet receive so little traction, in my opinion. But the truth is hard. This is a hard subject. I know I go a little too balls deep into it. After this, I'm going to put together what's happening in the world material. And that's another note. So I want to address a few people. Sad that I have to do this. Aunt Tina, thank you for your comments and support. But if you really want to support, there's a Patreon. I understand you're like a musical chair. You lead a symphony or something. Or you play with a symphony. Like, you're a freaking rich boomer. Like, pay it forward a little bit. Do you watch this channel? You watch this channel, right? I'm not e-begging. I'm just saying, I met a kid the other day that drives a Mustang, young black kid, like 22, makes $1,000 a week, but he works over 8-9 hours a day on DoorDash a day, and he made $1,000 last week. I made around 500. I work half as much, about 4 hours a day, and the other half I spend editing videos, putting out content, finding stuff, researching my mental health. Okay?
They don't even know what they're saying. TBH, that is high-key extra Fortnite DM slide. Am I right in my butt, Chuggies? Am I?
It's a lot of work, but it's fun. I'm not complaining. Though I want to address the poll. 77% of you said that you have no debt. Like, are you living in your mom's basement? How is that possible? Like, just to live nowadays. Again, I restarted my life like several times, and I have my own accomplishments from that. And as far as I'm concerned, like, I don't know what the next point is. I came here with like, okay, I'm sealing the deal here. I don't know where else to move. It's all the same in America. Like, the only reason I'd move again is for climate reasons, which is what I said, moving up north. But either way, you know, I'm like, yeah, easily 5,000 in a hole right now, which is not much. And I look at it as like, some people have kids, like that's a $250,000 expense. So if it just takes 5,000 to be like a semi-comfortable human being, then that's what it takes. That's my reasoning. That's my rationality in my head. It's probably a little bit more than that, but this is my side hustle. I spend my time making YouTube content, you know, and I'd like to make a lot more because I'm providing you guys with media and content. Like, who the fuck else is doing this on YouTube? Some old boomers. No one else is fucking doing this. Has the balls to like relay the truth. Okay, I'm gonna get off my pedestal. There was some final cop floundering going on. I want to put a video, maybe I'll put a clip.
So the negotiators roved round from public spaces to the back rooms.
Yeah. Vice President Timmermans, Nick Watt, BBC Newsnight, can I ask how
hopeful to see you in person for once. I always see you on the screen.
24 hours to go, your hopes?
Well, still a tremendous amount of work to do, but it's not impossible.
Do you think 1.5 is still going to be alive at the end of this COP?
It has to be. It really has to be. So we need to double our efforts to make sure we can say with credibility at the end of the COP, 1.5 is still alive.
But I mean, we hear that we're maybe at 2.4, 2.7, we're still a very long way off.
Yes, we are, but we can still achieve something this week. And then I agree with the COP president that we should have a declaration saying that we will get there next year. So within 1 year, we need to be on the 1.5.
Not a formal negotiator, and a mixed assessment of those in the hot seat.
There's lots of work to be done, and there needs to be political leadership and determination over today and tomorrow, and if necessary into the weekend. That should be led obviously by the COP presidency, the UK government. I know Alex Sharma is working really hard. I've said, I think the Prime Minister should come back here if necessary and spend every minute trying to push a deal over the line. I, for 2 weeks, tried to do everything possible to help, although I'm not around the negotiating table, and I will continue to do that for every.
From closer to home, a warning.
2 degrees is really dangerous. You know, hundreds of millions, perhaps billions, are under serious threat from extreme heat. That storms, floods, droughts, sea level rise. No, these things are intensely dangerous. And at 2 degrees, we're going to see still more of it. We're only on 1.1 now, well, I say only, and that's dangerous enough.
They're all meeting, all these business leaders and leaders of countries are meeting in like closed off private rooms.
After that, it's back behind closed doors.
And a different feel behind the scenes.
Lots more of the offices down here, but up the stairs there, what's that? That's the UK, they're the host. That's where the main meetings are taking place, behind closed doors, with a bit of a Harry Potter theme.
No dark wizards here, but all delegates agree on
The whole COP conference itself took like twice as much carbon emissions as it did last year, and the one next year probably is too in Egypt. And it's just like, this is how we're going out, guys, like floundering. Everyone's like, oh my God, we got to reach the deal to reach. They're all under pressure. And they can't even meet that. And China and USA just agreed to some bullshit last night that they would try to decrease their emissions, which is just like, they plan to work together, which is just mouth. It's just lip service. And there's apparently some deal coming out today, or the final draft of what they propose. It's still not going to meet it, and they're deferring a lot of responsibility to next year. I mean, let alone, you know, that coin. I know that coin toss in Rome where they all threw the coins back, you know, for like wishing luck. Like, that's where the stage we're at. I agree. That's where we're at. Is just like hope and luck. They have no conscious way of dissimilating the entire structure of civilization and repurposing it. It's a failed loop. So did I already talk about debt levels? Yeah, but let me just cover it a little bit more. Okay, for all you kids, like, are you living in your parents' basement? Do you have good jobs? Do you hate your job? Do you hate your life? I notice a lot of people that have like 5-6 figure jobs, a lot of them, not all of them, about 75-80% of them have poor health. They don't look right. Okay, they don't look right because they're working all the time. Maybe I'm a little stressed. You know, my optimal state is to be around people and be getting laid regularly. I haven't had sex in over 2 years. And I know that's no big deal. A lot of people are not doing it right now. But I mean, I could barely drive myself sometimes to do it with somebody that I like, you know, a lot. You know, it's hard. So I'm not complaining. Like, I've had my numbers exceedingly high. I lived like a king in my 20s, early 20s. I'm not even bragging. I lived it up. You know, the rates of casual sex are down, and so are movie theaters and our whole social society. That's what they should comment. Inequality's up and social society is down.
Consumer price index spiking 6.2% for October.
Everything's more expensive. Everything across the board.
That's crap. You know, again, healthy living, sleep is a part of that. My best, even for a few months, just for a few months, everything felt right. I was asleep. I think I want to get on ketamine for depression, because like when my mental health, when I don't get sleep, the nasal, I've done it recreationally with some friends, and for like a week after, I felt great, like no sign of depression. It was the weirdest thing, but it worked. There's a psychiatric unit in Central Arkansas. I'm gonna try to call them and be like, hey, can I just like check in for like a day? Like, you can only do it under a prescribed situation, like a clinical setting, because it's not FDA regulated, sadly, yet. Shrooms are good, you know, alternative medicine is fine, but I found this, I don't know, horse tranquilizer really works. It works for depression. I don't know how it does that. Immediate threats are more important to people. Oh, one last note, you know, about the whole sex thing. There was 2 prospects. I know I'm still human. I ran into a girl named Paige, works at this barbecue place. She's kind of young and uppity. Maybe that might get a little annoying all the time. But there's no one Elizabeth at this pizza place, and she's my age. And she said she'd remember my name, but this was like a month ago. But I remember hers. And I go in every time I get an order there, I take it just on the hopes that I would see her, but I never seen her again. Maybe she's like from another store and they just called her for backup because it was really busy that night, like a game or something. just kind of maddening, you know, like needle in the haystack. You see someone and then you're like, I was like 2 seconds away from asking her out, but it's like on the first, you know, you first meet someone, you don't do that. Like you can't do that on the first time you meet someone. That's awkward. Now, at this stage, I mean, not totally, it's how you do it, but in the context, it's all about the context. Okay, this camera, the angle's probably off, and my upstairs neighbors we've already made complaints about like them being loud, and we think it might be someone up here. Just live in a little matchbox, you know, like I don't have enough money to put a down payment on a new deposit on a new apartment, but I signed a lease for a year, so I'm here till like October at I think that's when the next October is when it ends, September, October. So, hey, if any of you want me to, can let me like camp out in your backyard for a little bit, you know, use your restroom and just come in to cook, or if you have like a shed so I can get rid of some of my debt, like pay off my car. I'll work for DoorDash, I'll work for a hardware store, I don't care. Yeah, I've been blackpilled, I know, from a lot of economy, society, and I mean, to buy a house is so fucking, it's running away from you. The costs of buying a house have increased over the last year. More than what your wages can keep up. Okay? I just want to be free and clear and be able to travel and maybe see a lot of you guys more. I built this community without even really thinking, you know, what shape or what it would take. I don't know why I'm holding that. Okay, so I just wanted to talk to you. I gotta go get the content finished for Monday's What's Up, what's happening. Okay, I'm a little loopy. Talk to you guys soon.